This is a dolly baby. It's a dolly baby.
Oh my God,
Huh?
yeah, that's understandable.
No, I think you got her just in time.
I think so. Yeah, it looks like we're about to lose her attention here in a second. We're supposed to.
Maybe if we give her the bottle of Martinelli's.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that'll perk her right up.
I've heard that babies get diarrhea from apple juice sometimes.
Yeah, I think.
Well, that's because it ain't the Martinelli's.
Oh, I see.
Reese, honey.
Reese.
Yeah.
Gordon, you're the specter.
Come on, smile and say earlobes.
What?
Earlobes?
Smile and say earlobes.
Earlobes.
Are we getting a good earlobe shot? Is that what you're?
Yeah.
Oh, what a sweet baby. What a sweet baby.
She's so
Yeah, that's all right.
Julie, do you want to go first?
No. Barbara.
Well, I have a chisel here. A tome. I've written you a tome, Theda.
A tome. Well, that's interesting.
Light your candle though, Barbara.
Oh, my God.
Since it's going to be a long-winded tome.
I don't know.
Maybe you better use two of these.
All right.
Oh, I may burn out soon.
I never had anything written to me before.
Oh, yes. Not the letters. I sent the card. Okay, Theda.
All right.
This is not the definitive appreciation. I just wrote here. This doesn't mean this is the end of my appreciations. I might think of something else tomorrow, in which case
I
I'll
may
pass it
still
along.
be here. Yeah. I
You
may
may
still
still
be
be there.
Yeah, we'll keep passing this on.
January 27th, 1995. Dear Theda, I'm giving you this thank you card because there are some gifts you have given me. You might not call them gifts, but they are born of qualities I appreciate about you, and I carry them with me as remembrances and appreciations. I've told you some of these things before, but I'll tell you here again and add a few to boot. First, although there is no particular hierarchical order to my thoughts, I want to validate you as a learning, growing person. I've watched you wrestle with and process problematical situations and relationships, both professional and personal, until you come to some resolution. I know doing that required letting go of some ideas, hopes, and expectations, and learning to accept others. Furthermore, you weren't exactly a spring chicken when this happened. Many people your age and younger would have cast their life rules in concrete and left them there. But you were willing to seek and grow and change. That took courage and integrity. It has been a pleasure to watch you become lighter, softer, more flexible, more loving, and more lovable. And as I approach your then age, I hope I can match your model. When I validated the fact you have worked practically forever, you said, well, I had no choice, I had to. But Theda, the fact is, many women couldn't have and don't do that. Don't do that. You positioned yourself with a marketable skill and made the best you could of any time, place, and situation you were in. You were a woman ahead of your time, a woman of the 90s, long before the 90s got here. Related to your work is the rather mundane issue of the computer. When I marvel at your competency with it, you say, well, I had to learn it if I wanted to keep my job. But you did learn it, and your interest and skills have surpassed any job requirements. I have yet to become computer literate, but I keep telling myself, well, Theda did it, so I guess I can too. I give myself that same message about two other of your accomplishments, writing and organizing your legal papers and affairs. About your writing, I suspect you aren't satisfied and feel that you have fallen short of the mark, whatever mark it was you set for yourself. Well, Theda, you have written. And to me, who is frightened about putting my private self forth into so public an arena, that is a very big, capital D, deal, capital D. I say, Theda did it, so I guess I can too. As to your organization, my mother also did a beautiful job of organizing her legal affairs. True, it was necessary, but many people don't deal with that responsibility. You have, and in so doing, you have given Julie and others dealing with your estate a great gift. Ask Julie what it has meant to her. I know I too am charged with that responsibility, and for the sake of my children, I hope I will do as well as you have done. Moving on. I want to validate the courage and persistence you have shown in creating a new home for yourself. I've watched you select, reorganize, and let go of a household of history, as it were. Not just once, but a few times. Now, every time I enter your apartment, I marvel at the lovely home you have created again. This brings me to what we both agree is a given. I find that in my haste to write, I've deleted an A or a this or a that or something here and there. Anyway, is a given. Your aesthetic, artistic taste. As I told you, others in your family may have been credited with being artistic, but you have a gifted eye and sensibility that is reflected in the artwork and artifacts that grace your home and make it such a pleasant, comfortable place, where, not so incidentally, I have enjoyed some very good meals. Your invitation to dinner has always promised something special. Your tasteful presentations and table settings have always been a treat, so different from my casual, haphazard, just get it to the table approach after I've cleared off all of the paperwork. I appreciate the elegance and graciousness of your hostessing and hospitality. Here, I must say a few words about your Cuban black bean soup. Theda, the truth is that I am an uninspired, indifferent, and unimaginative cook. But your recipe for Cuban black bean soup gets rave reviews, and I make it fairly often to get the strokes. So I thank you for that, twice in fact, because I lost the first recipe you sent and had to ask for another. Though I've finally learned the recipe by heart, I always check the card which reads, Theda's Cuban black bean soup, and I smile. Lastly, Theda, I want to thank you for your laugh. When you are delighted or amused, there is a lovely soprano lilt to which you give voice. It's like a bird's song, and like a bird's song, it gives me joy. You have passed it on to each of your daughters, and so it will go forth into the world. So, Theda, you are not a glass person to me. I see you. I love you. Barbara.
look up to you guys? How are you gonna do this? Or, yeah, if you want to, or if you want to have yours be the last, sort of the
Oh,
concluding.
that's right, there's some more.
Oh, there's some more. You got a whole room full of
Yeah,
folks.
all
You
right.
got enough Kleenex?
Oh, God.
Yeah, here's some
better
more,
hold.
Julie. Here's, oh.
Well, yeah,
No
there's
going to
some
sleep
go.
now, Tina.
No.
No going to sleep.
No, ma'am.
No,
Not in your life.
no, this bee's much too important for that.
Told the nurse I'd fill that up with Arco when I gave it back to her.
You aren't getting her blowing her nose, are you?
No,
He has a
I'm.
way with that thing, Peter. You gotta watch him.
Yeah.
Talent.
Well, I
Yeah.
wouldn't give it a check.
People's least flattering moments.
All right, we've got a curling iron in the bathroom. Well, mine's not nearly as long as Barbara's and as in-depth, but these are some things that are going to stay with me until I'm old and soaking my teeth in a jar. And these are things that I'm going to pass to the voice. And they're just going to get passed on. Thank you for sharing with me your sense of humor, because I think only us two can appreciate each other sometimes. And your love of fine arts. I might not appreciate them as you do, but at least thanks to you I know what they are. Your love for my children and your cats. And thanks for going to bat for Sean when you think he needs it. I will always appreciate that. And your talent for cooking. I will never match it, but I will always have it to aim for. And your good taste for colors and for just things in general. You're the one that made my wedding reception so elegant. You're the one that thought of the strawberries and whipped cream, not me. And your clove chicken recipe.
Does the recipe book come with this?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm leaving tomorrow. You'll have to get in touch with Flores. And last but not least, Ma, here you lie all broken-hearted.
You're not going to want to read that.
And you remember the rest.
I dare you read that out loud.
Don't dare her.
Because I will.
I dare you read the rest.
I'll save for 50
Well-
cents.
Years ago, this is this morbid gallows sense of humor that my mother and I possess.
And me.
Years ago, I used a public restroom and I found the following graffiti on the wall, and I will always love it. Here I sit, all broken-hearted.
Oh, no.
Came to shit, but only fart.
I cannot believe I just...
I love it.
And that's probably the last dare you'll ever do me. Kleenex for everyone.
I think you
Go ahead.
get me. And
I'll do it.
Theda, what's important is that if you get too tired and you want to stop,
Feel something.
it's one or two? Just one. No, only one out of that at a time. So,
Get me out of the way.
So,
okay.
Friends are treasures, much rarer than gold. Treasures intended to have and to hold. They're timeless blessings, the greatest by far, especially when someone's the friend you are. My dear Theda, in 1989 I was having an argument with life, and you listened. I wailed and ranted irrationally, and you listened. We cried together. I told you things I couldn't tell my mother. You listened. There were times when you afforded me a trust and let me listen to you. I tried to follow your example. I gave more advice than was needed. You didn't criticize. You seemed to know I'd get better at it. The grace you gave me healed me. Theda, these years and you have seen me rise up singing and come back to myself. Times were that you would take my hand and seem to know what I was feeling even when I didn't. We laughed, danced, shared our love for Dixieland jazz, writing in my alma mater, SPU. I look up to you, your order, your writing, your homemade Christmas cards that were so very elegant. I was proud to see you on TV, and I have a copy of the New York Times op-ed page on file. Finally, I could share more joy than tears. You attended my wedding. I think you cried. Your feeling helped me remember not to think too much. Oh dear Theda, your tears watered my garden. Even as I write these words, I cry. It is possible that tears will forever bring to mind that I love you.
That's right.
As ever, Kristen. And I gave you one of my drawings, which you have happily read.
It's a unicorn, Mom.
Oh, for goodness sake.
In big bold lines, sort of like a cave drawing.
Yeah. That'd be different. Isn't it something? I didn't know that you were had an artistic ability, or did I?
I don't know that we ever really talked about my drawing.
Wow.
Yeah, I do portraits too.
Wow, now she tells me.
now I really need to get that curling iron. Plug that sucker in and
I've always loved your art. I'm sure you have that.
Okay, is that the sum and substance of it?
No, it's not.
no, there's more.
Yeah. We'll let it.
Oh, you gotta light a candle.
I don't feel the need to light a candle
Oh, okay.
because although you and I have had a lot of our ups and downs, you have always been a light to me. My dearest Ma, I want to thank you for teaching me financial responsibility.
and for not spending what I don't have. Also, I'd like to thank you for teaching me how to be thrifty and how to be resourceful, for giving me and teaching me high morals and standards. I also want to thank you for my sense of humor. I want to thank you for giving me sensitivity. I would like to thank you for teaching me right from wrong. I can't see what I'm reading. Small detail. I would like to thank you for teaching me that the squeaky wheel always gets the grease. I would like to thank you for teaching me to love and defend those weaker and less fortunate than me. I want to thank you for teaching me to stand up for my beliefs. And last of all, I would like to thank you for having me and for giving me everything you had. May God always bless you. Love so. I just put your glasses on. This is turning out to be more of a weight.
I'm too choked up to say very much. I'm too choked up to say anything.
It makes you nervous. We don't have to, do we? I guess I don't like to take anyway.
Well, hugs can be in order. They can be recorded.
I do love you. I do appreciate you. I have appreciated you. I do appreciate you. I wish I was verbal as Barbara is, as able to write, and she says she can't. She struggles that she writes. I let her write today, that is to say, I didn't disturb her. And yesterday, I didn't hurry her even though we were late. So I'm not taking any credit for what she wrote.
But you did a good job letting her do it, right?
But she said many, many things. Well, I wouldn't have said things about your cooking and stuff like that, you know. She appreciates that. I guess I do. I've tasted your bean soup. It is good.
You're going to eat it tonight, too.
Did you know that, Louie, you were having bean soup tonight?
I saw the pot.
You saw the pot, but I did not. And I wish I could have.
I just want to be careful that I don't talk about myself instead of you. So what I wanted to start to say was, gee, I'm really a coward when it comes to pain, watching other people's pain, or knowing about it, or hearing that. Barbara just walks on water and just gets there and says it. And it's okay. It's all right. I appreciate what you said. And she has said a lot of the things that if I could write like she writes, I would have said it too. So much.
Well, I don't know if Glenn and Evelyn feel they've known me long enough, so they might not have anything that they want to say, but I...
Oh, well, we do, though.
I'm sure they do.
Okay, so I've just got to get someone else to hold the camera, okay?
Could I? Because I'm in a privy.
Yeah, please. Great.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Let me just
Well, if you say it fast enough, you can get it in the mail fast enough. I might be still around to receive it.
You're on.
well, let me light a candle. This is a short note. Things that we wrote in it were things that that other people have read to you, and so it's kind of interesting that, and I guess comforting that we all have the same perception. So maybe we're accurate.
Gee, could we be right? Do you
You may be right, in fact, you know. Dear Theda, Julie asked us to think about the things that make you special to us. And frankly, it was a challenge to reduce all of those things to a few words on a page. But here's what occurred to us. I'm just going to list these, and they're not in any particular order, okay? First, we love your sense of humor and the ironic wit that derives it. We love your quick and ready laugh. And I guess it has occurred to us that's something that both Julie and Sylvia share. We love your insights into what makes people tick and your fascination with human behavior. And we marvel, as Barbara says, at your modernity, and have frequently remarked you seem more characteristic of women of our generation than of your own. We appreciate your honesty. The one thing that I think that most people would agree with is that one is never unsure of your views on anything.
Such a polite way of
New
saying it.
Yorkers.
But that's yeah. But it's
But that's
frankly
really comforting.
it's refreshing.
You know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
You know what they're thinking.
Is the focus here automatic?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
We admire your sense of practicality and the heroism with which you have wielded it throughout your illness. And most of all, we are grateful that you are a part of our family. And that after so many years, we were able to discover each other. And right down the street at that. And we're glad that we were able to spend time together after moving here. We don't have any other family here, other than you and yours. And we don't count many friends among our family members as a whole. Theda, we know this cannot be an easy time for you, and it's impossible for us to truly know what you're experiencing right now, physically and emotionally and spiritually. But we hope that you will find comfort in your current surroundings and the people who love you. And we want you to know that we're here for you.
At some point I'll get Reese detached from me and I'll come over and claim my place. And to that, I wanted to add that I really appreciate your recipe for Rob Roy's.
Rob Roy's.
I never had those till you, and I really like them.
You like them?
Yeah, I
Who
sure
could
do.
not like a Rob Roy's if they like Scotch
That's right.
whiskey? Well, that was quite a ringer. Outer.
That's why I didn't tell you what was going to happen till it happened.
Neither did I. I don't think I could have armed myself against it. But I thank you all for your wonderful words.
The last two chapters is just fantastic.
Louis is very excited about that book.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make it my #1 priority. Really, that's one of the books that I was recommended to highly.
I'm just troubled then.
I have no idea.
There's
Before
and you-
anybody got here.
Yeah, so there, if anybody else has a toast, this is the time.
Well, I think
And what, our toast was, we were talking about Theda Vera, and the only other Theda we've met. And so, to all of the Thedas, and most especially this one, was our toast. Excuse me. So, anybody else? Have you one?
Me?
Make a toast, Ma.
I already packed her toast, so she came.
I can't. Gee, I hope you wiped off the top of it and had
There
all the
you go.
crumbs.
I got rid of the crumbs out of the crumbs right.
And it had 1.5 LT hairs on there. It had to come off.
Don't even talk about those even. But,
Good idea.
Go ahead.
We did make a toast.
oh, I don't think I can drink anymore, really.
Well, just as a toast, just a little itty bitty sip. Once you've created a toast.
Well, you want me to make a toast, really?
Yeah, I really do. And then after you make one, I would like to make one.
Oh. Well. Here's to all the people who love me. I love them too.
Cheers.
All right, cheers. So, this is, I'm making a toast. May you find the truth.
Cheers.
Cheers and salud.
Yeah, I believe in your healing, and I expect it. Even as we heal so many things, so many ways together. So I think we should cheer and toast to health. Friendship.
Wherever we may find it.
Yeah.
She made a toast to health.
To health.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
I dropped my voice again, Thea. You have this dance here. I dropped my voice.
Well, I've noticed this loss in my hearing more so recently than ever before.
Ma, that's because Julie said that you have your hearing aid at home. That's probably why you're not hearing.
No,
it.
no, honey. I wasn't using it for at least 6 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just, it had, well, my hearing had gotten worse, so it was no longer providing the
aid.
The aid that it needed to. So I thought if I lived, I would spend the $700. So I just saved $700.
Are you dead? No, you're not. You are very much alive. No, just hear no more nonsense. Now. End of discussion.
But Theda, you could do my family, my mother and father, especially my mother and the kids, a tremendous favor by looking into the camera and telling my father that he really should get his hearing aids fixed, because Berkwits do not become deaf gracefully.
So this is the only paid commercial you're going to get, so go for it.
Yeah, really? You want me to talk?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell Dad.
All right, but there's one thing. Well, I'll mention that later, but all of a sudden, for the life of me, I can't think of your dad's name. Isn't
Arthur.
that crazy? Arthur. I know it looked like my own back teeth, but
You know, I haven't
She
ever
said I
looked
know
at my
about
back
that.
teeth.
I couldn't remember his name. But Arthur, really, it's important. You'd be surprised how delighted you'd be if you were to get yourself one of those things, which is hardly noticeable. And I don't know why people make a big stink about them, because the kind I had, you didn't notice that I had it, and nobody notices that I had it. So why not do yourself a favor and get one of them there things? Really, mine was a blessing. And I was sorry to put it away on the shelf and not be able to use it anymore, but I highly, highly recommend them.
Thanks.
Great.
I want to second that they cannot be seen. Now Arthur, here's another open-mouthed person. I didn't even know Ma didn't have hers in until Julie told me when we were looking through her stuff, and I said, what's this hearing aid in here? She said, well, Ma hasn't worn it for 6 months. And I said, oh, I thought she had it in. So go get yourself a hearing aid.
Now!
Yes.
This announcement has been paid for by Miracle Ear.
Yeah.
Beltone Miracle Ear Centers.
Well,
You don't know me, Arthur. I'm Julie. I'm her daughter, and I don't have any. But see,
that's all right, they're coming.
yeah.
Oh, no. Sometime.
But what I did want to say, Glenn, is that if you're going to send this tape home,
Oh no, I'm going to copy it. That's all.
oh, all right,
Yeah.
because
I'm just
I have
trying
a
to-
friend who couldn't be here today, and I'm sure she would have been if she had.
Oh yeah, well, no, we can make as many copies as we want.
Jane went.
Well, two friends, that's right, Jane
Jane
And
Florist.
Florist. Yes.
Mhm.
And I know they would love to see.
Yeah,
this.
we'll make copies.
Oh, that's
It's easy enough to
That's
do.
wonderful. That's just wonderful. We'll get copies. I can't think of anyone else.
I guess he's got this complex. He has to be noticed. But I think maybe we all do at one point or another. There we go.
Aw.
Okay, it's not so easy to squeeze all the love you deserve into this card. Theda. But here's a start. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, Nan.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Oh, hey, there you go. I appreciate your, that is your, anyway, your sense of humor. Dean. And I appreciate that gal from New York who moved to Seattle and taught me to make strong coffee,
Helen,
use more spices when cooking,
Ah, great.
appreciate a little more Easterners' sense of humor and Jewish jokes, and even to argue more like they do in New York.
All right.
And now you're a Seattle person. Love, Helen. We love you.
oh, isn't that something? Isn't that something?
Yes.
You know, Helen keeps teasing me that.
This ain't gonna fit in your box very much.
No, the box will fit in it.
Yeah.
That's right, we'll fold it or something. But,
There we go.
Lyndon gets the window.
Yeah. There's one gigantic card. The biggest I've ever seen.
He's trying to get you money. What was I going to say about Helen? When Helen and I first came here, Helen was afraid of me. Did you know that, Sylvia?
She was just telling me that.
Oh,
Or just
yeah.
the other week she told us.
She was saying that she was afraid of me. Why? Because I made it sound like all New Yorkers were smarter than anybody else.
What she told me in that regard was that you always said things with such confidence that she always assumed that you were right even when she didn't agree.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was at your house. Yeah. You know, I got to see the dog about a horse, but don't go away.